Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
So the game's been pretty easy. You're going to stick this from underneath it, and you're going to take the tree, and it's going to have a little hole there, and you just put it right there, and he'll spin around. The horseman will start here. Ichabod will start on this track right here. Take your A tile, shuffle these up face down, and this will be the difficulty level. You can choose the 2 or the 4. 4 is going to be harder, so I would recommend sticking with 2. I found that to be hard enough. What Ichabod is doing, he's going to try to get through this whole path, and if he gets up here before the Headless Horseman gets him, he wins. And if the Headless Horseman is able to get over 4 of these that has the pumpkin on it, then you will lose the game. So that's how you're going to lose, by getting the 4 pumpkin ones over. So what we'll do is we'll shuffle these up, and I'll kind of show you how this is played. Then you'll shuffle up the deck. Each player will draw 4 cards from the top, and that will be your starting hand. The play of the game is fairly easy. Each player will choose a card from their hand, and they will place it face down. Then, let's say you're playing a 2-player game, everybody will reveal their cards at the same time. If they match, that's good news, because Ichabod can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the track. If you land on the symbols, something will happen. If you land on one of the ones that don't have a symbol on it, nothing happens. So if you land on this one, then you simply spin this around, and you get to move whatever extra spaces it lands on. If you land on the horse, then you flip over one of the horse tiles, and you're potentially one step closer to losing the game. If you land on one of these shortcuts, then just kind of like Chutes and Ladders, you get to move up through the shortcut. So there's going to be 3 potential spots. The only little spot that's going to make a difference here is if you get on this spot, you can see there's a little bit of a hole here on Ichabod. You will put him here, you will spin this around, and whatever one he lands on is the spot that he will go. If he had landed, let's say here, then you would have went over to that spot. When the Headless Horseman comes through, he does not go that way. Instead, he goes on the longer track, potentially, to catch up to you. Now, when you play these 2 cards, if they match, the Ichabod will move. Let's say the 2 cards do not match, then he does not move. Then you would play 2 additional cards, which is fine. So let's say these 2 cards were played on the second turn. Whatever the lowest number is that matches in this time, you would move 4 instead of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, activating the position. Then you're going to look at the bottom of all cards played, and the horseman will move this many times. So 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And then the question mark will move depending on what the difficulty is you selected. So 2, 4, 6, 7. So the Headless Horseman will move 7 spaces. So the horseman and Ichabod are on the same space. So he will come back here. We move him to the next blank space, and we have to flip over one of these, which, oh, it's another spider web. That's great. Then you will discard these cards, and the game will proceed. If you only ever have 1 card in your hand, you will say Ichabod. You will spin the spinner, and then you will draw that number of cards. I drew 1, so I will draw 1 card, and now I have 2 to choose from in my hand. This will continue until the win condition, which Ichabod gets all the way up there, or the losing condition where all 4 pumpkins are known. And that's how you play Return of the Headless Horseman.